What if I wrote Tales of the Sith? There is no doubt Episode 1 would follow the Exiles. The Exiles were the 12 Dark Jedi survivors of the 100-Year Darkness who were captured and banished by the Jedi Order into the unknown regions. The episode would begin with the Jedi pointing lightsabers at their backs and marching them outside of the Republic borders. They settled on the planet Korriban, where they discovered the Sith species. The Sith were awed at the Dark Jedi's power of the dark side. The Dark Jedi overthrew the Sith King and ruled over them and anointed themselves Lords of the Sith. This is the true beginning of the Sith Empire. The Dark Jedi used alchemical arts to blend their DNA with the Sith, allowing their lineage to continue through the Sith species. The Sith Order was formed and established into the Sith Empire. The Exiles finding Korriban is not the origin of the dark side, but the origin of the Sith lineage in 69,000 BBY that continues into present day. In Episode 2, we would move to around 3990 BBY to the era of Darth Revan. Revan lived a unique life, being both Sith and Jedi, having his mind wiped and starting a family. Not the typical life of a Jedi. The episode would begin with Revan's victory against the Mandalorians, but Revan and his close friend Malik would sense the dark side and Sith influence behind the war, so traveled together to the unknown regions to discover the cause. They would stumble upon the forgotten world of Droman Khas, where they were discovered that the Sith Empire was alive and well. They find the Sith Emperor, Vitiate. Revan and Malik fight Vitiate, but are defeated and forcefully turned to the dark side. They break free from the Emperor's control, but remain Dark Lords of the Sith. The episode would end with them finding the Starforge and using it to construct their military fleet and weapons. Episode 3 would no doubt be about Darth Malgus and his raid on the Jedi Temple. It would be similar to the game trailer that we've already had, but now with more time, we can get a more in-depth version. It would begin with Malgus being chosen in front of the Dark Council to lead the campaign, as well as some of their preparation. We would see Malgus handpick some of the warriors and inquisitors that would come. It would then move to the beginning of the raid. Malgus walks up to the entrance of the Jedi Temple and kills the guards. The captured Republic shuttle containing Sith warriors and inquisitors enters the atmosphere and breaks through the doors of the temple. The fight breaks out between the Jedi and Sith. This would be very detailed and a glorious battle. The episode would end with Malgus defeating Ven Zalal and Coruscant being burnt to the ground. Episode 4 would follow Darth Bane, also known as Dessel, who initiated the Rule of Two. The first part of the episode would be a short overview of his life, a scene of him in the mines, killing Republic soldiers, joining the Sith army, and then being recruited and taken to Korriban by Darth Copex, who believed him to be the Sithari. Here he decided on his new name, Bane. This would only take up a few minutes of the episode. The following few minutes would include Bane training on Korriban and studying in the archives. He would then travel to the Valley of Sith Lords, where he would learn that the Sith Lords of old deemed the current Sith in the Brotherhood of Darkness unworthy of their secrets. Next, we would see Bane studying the holocron of Revan, where he would learn more about the dark side than any training before. The episode would conclude with the leader of the Brotherhood of Darkness, Lord Khan, using the dark side ability Thought Bomb to kill all the Force sensitives in a few kilometer radius on Ruusan. This would kill all the Sith except Darth Bane. The next shot would be the Jedi Council at the time, discussing how the Sith have finally been defeated, but the last frame would be Bane finding his apprentice Xana on Ruusan, beginning the Rule of Two. The first 4 episodes have focused solely on significant dark side users in the galaxy's history, but the next 4 will be the culmination of the grand plan. I call it the Palpatine Chronicles. The first half of episode 5 would show Darth Plagueis killing his master Darth Tenebrous on Boldemnik and ascending to Dark Lord of the Sith. Next we would see him meet a young Palpatine for the first time on Naboo, where we would see Plagueis realize that the boy will be his next apprentice. There would be a detailed scene where Plagueis would explain to Palpatine how he murdered his entire family to gain control of Damask Holdings, his family company. The final scene of the episode would be Palpatine murdering his family and kneeling before Plagueis, his new master, where he is given a new name, Darth Sidious. We've never seen a young Palpatine before, so I think this would be necessary in this series. Episode 6 would jump a few decades into the future. Palpatine is now fully trained in the dark side. It would begin with Mother Talzin giving Maul to Darth Sidious, where he begins training the young Zabrak up to a fully fledged Sith warrior. This would be a training montage, where Maul gets bigger and bigger in each shot, with his training getting more difficult and intense. The middle part of the episode would be the scene where Palpatine kills Darth Plagueis, his master. The scene would involve Palpatine leaving Plagueis' office, where he is passed out drunk at his desk. The dark side would tell him to kill his unsuspecting master, as he shoots fierce Sith lightning at Plagueis, which breaks his respiratory machine. He slowly chokes the life out of Plagueis, who collapses to the floor. The last part of the episode would be Palpatine training Dooku, his new apprentice, slowly watching him become more and more attuned with the dark side. Episode 7 is the culmination of the grand plan, and will basically be a version of Revenge of the Sith, but from the point of view of Palpatine. We, the viewer, would watch everything play out from Palpatine's own eyes. The episode would begin with Sidious ordering Anakin to raid the Jedi Temple, as we watch Anakin leave Sidious's office. He then gets up from his desk and executes Order 66. We then get to witness Palpatine's emotions after he finishes the command. We see him bathed in the dark side, bathed in the death of Jedi around the galaxy, and the joy from him knowing his victory is assured. The next scene is a POV of his duel with Yoda, moving to him looking upon the fallen Vader on the sands of Mustafar with his own eyes. The last shots of the episode would be Vader being built and beginning his training. The final episode of the show would begin in Return of the Jedi. We would see Sidious projecting the Force lightning onto Luke, who's writhing in pain. We then see Vader pick Sidious up and throw him into the core reactor. However, now we follow Sidious as he plummets down to his death. However, we see the light leave his eyes and his body go limp as he initiates essence transfer. In the movie, we see this blue windy smoke come back up from the reactor core. In this episode, we would learn that this is actually the physical manifestation of Sidious's essence transfer. We follow it all the way from the Death Star through space to Exegol, where it reacts with one of his clone bodies in a bacta tank. It infuses and we see the body's eyelids open and suddenly take a huge gasp of air, representing the survival of Darth Sidious. Thanks for watching, guys. That would be my Tales of the Sith. Let me know what you think. Would you like me to continue this series? Maybe I'll do a what if I wrote the sequels in the future if you are interested.